Well, the sky hadn't fallen here in Norfolk. We woke up Sunday morning and we came into work and we practiced Sunday afternoon and we game planned on Monday. We got out yesterday and we practiced. Again, you have to credit Virginia State for the way that they played. We didn't play well enough to win. We didn't deserve to win. The focus of this week's practices have been making sure that we stay together, not let outside forces kind of try to, drain our resources. And we've made sure that we're going to tackle better. We made sure that we're going to catch balls that we dropped, and we're not going to make some of the same mistakes that we made a week ago. Looking forward to playing William & Mary. Coach Laycock's one of my all-time favorite coaches. Somebody I've looked up to for a lot of years, and it's great to have them coming to Norfolk. Always going to be a sound, disciplined, well-coached football team. So Saturday should be, another opportunity for Norfolk State to get better and compete and try to beat William & Mary.
Coach, first off, are there any injuries that'll hold guys out this weekend?
I don't think so. Nothing significant. We had a few guys that didn't go yesterday, but nobody was seriously injured. We should be pretty much full body today as we go this afternoon.
I want to talk to you after the game. You said you were thinking about doing some different things management-wise. What have you come up with in that regard?
Well, that doesn't make sense for me to tell you everything, but I've got to do a better job of just making sure that I prepare the team better in certain situations. We didn't handle Virginia State's tempo very well. There were some things that we allowed to go on special teams that shouldn't go on, and we've made some changes and moved some things around in that regard. But at the end of the day, like I said, I allowed some things to happen on Saturday that I shouldn't have let happen, and we've addressed those things this week.
Marcus, what was the mood in the locker room and how and if it changed heading into the next week's camp?
Going into this week's game?
Yeah.
Well, the guys are just really ready to play the next game because after any loss, you're ready to get to your next one, but you can't rush it. So we've just been taking it day by day, just going to practice and just trying to get better.
Bobby, I'm curious, how have your classmates and the fans kind of talked to you about the game? Have they been kind of ragging on you? Have they been encouraging? What's been the response?
Mostly encouraging. Haven't really had any problems around campus. No one's really said nothing too
much. Coach, are there any significant personnel changes with the depth chart you expect? Or are you going to roll with the same kind of lineup?
No, we're going to roll the same lineup. It wasn't personnel-driven issues. It was mistakes that we made. We're not going to make excuses for whatever happened. We just didn't play well enough to win. And again, if it was a personnel thing, then that would be something that would be on the kids. But I think it was more of a preparation situation and how we actually handle some situations. And as I said, that falls on me. And to speak to what you asked, Bobby, we've received a ton of positive support from our administration and our real fans. In sports, people are going to make comments regardless. So at the end of the day, my job as the head coach has been to make sure that I keep my team together, because you are going to have negative people and people are going to think your season's over because you lost the first game of the season. At the end of the day, we lost to an opponent. Doesn't matter if it's Virginia State or UVA. We lost our first game, and that's not going to make us happy.
Marcus, on the field as a player, what do you think the offense lacked or had trouble with?
We didn't. It just was mistakes. We just had a couple missed assignments, so we didn't lack too much. Just mistakes that we got to get fixed.
Do you think Virginia State did anything special defensively that slowed you guys down?
No, it was Norfolk State got in Norfolk State way.
Bobby, what do you take away from that game? The defense played pretty well. So how do you guys evaluate your performance and move on to William & Mary?
I think if we limit our mistakes and stay together and just pay more attention in practice and stuff and get better each and every day, we'll be fine.
What kinds of mistakes do you think the defense was committing?
Just like tackling. Like Coach said, we got to tackle better. We got to get lined up, and that's about it.
Coach, what's the scouting report on William & Mary? What do you expect from them?
As always, I don't care what Coach Laycock says. I know he's removed himself somewhat from the offense, but Jimmy Laycock's not going to be around an offensive football team and not have his hands in it. So they're going to be balanced. They're going to be physical. Obviously they ran the ball very successfully against us a year ago, so I expect them to try to do that. Defensively, the defensive staff is pretty much the same. Big physical defensive line. The strength of the defense is probably the two inside linebackers. Very, very solid secondary. They're going to be solid on special teams. It's going to be a game that we're going to have to not make mistakes, and we're going to have to be able to stop the run, and we're going to have to score. When we have the opportunity to. I mean, we dropped a touchdown last week. We underthrew and overthrew two probable touchdowns. So you can't make those mistakes if you want to be a good football team. So those are some of the things we've got to get corrected if we want to have a chance against William & Mary.
Do you plan to have the same sort of rotation with Pooty and Tripp?
We hadn't decided yet. We'll get to that point by Thursday or Friday. But I thought both of those guys made some great plays. I thought both of those guys made some freshman mistakes. But at the end of the day, we still have total confidence in both of those guys, and we'll probably play both of them moving forward, and we'll just continue to do what's best for our team.
So no official starter yet?
Not yet.
What would you like to see different from the O-line this week?
Everybody's on the offensive line. The thing that I like to see from the offensive line is more push. They did a good job covering, the kids from Virginia State up, but we didn't get very much push up front. So we've addressed that in practice this week, but I don't think we gave up any sacks. I think the quarterbacks may have scrambled once or twice when they didn't have to, but I'm not as down on my offensive line as everybody else is. I think those guys are easy to blame when something breaks down, but at the end of the day, they're light years better than they were a year ago, even better than they were 2 years ago. Again, no seniors on the offensive line, so we've just got to continue to improve week to week.
Bobby, I know you're a DB, but I still want to ask about the rushing defense. How do you guys kind of respond to that? You allow almost 200 yards, but that came almost on nearly 50 carries. So it's only 4 yards a carry. So how do you guys view your performance in that regard?
I mean, they're all leaders on this team. I look up to them, and I mean, just them playing hard. I mean, they're going to get better each and every day in practice. Like I said, we make mistakes, but we're going to learn from them and get better.
Marcus, what have you seen as far as attitude around the guys these last couple of days that gives you optimism?
The guys are just ready to play. Like I said, we're just waiting on our next game.
Compared from practice to the first game, what did you see out of Pooty and Tripp that also gave you optimism?
I mean, like Coach said, they make fresh mistakes, but they also made some plays too. So, I mean, I guess they're just waiting to play our next game too.
For anybody who wants to talk, what do you want? What would be your key message to the fans and the students right now?
There is really no message. We're going to continue to play hard football. We're going to continue to try to win, and those who support us, we appreciate it. And those who doubt us, we're sorry. Everybody's got an opinion in football, but we really appreciate the true Spartans fans. And as I said, we've got nothing but a ton of support, from our administration and our true fans. But we're going to show up week in, week out, and we're going to play quality football. And as I said, the sky hadn't fallen, on Park Avenue.
And you mentioned Coach Laycock. What about him do you look up to? What kind of attributes does he have?
Oh man, longevity. None of us, will be able to be at the same place, for that long. I think that era of coaching, stability is gone. But he's won a ton, and Coach Laycock, has always been good to me since I was a young assistant at Richmond. When I became the head coach at Richmond, he's helped me make a few decisions, as far as hiring people throughout throughout my career, but just always been a very solid man and someone that you'd like to model yourself and your program after, because William & Mary has always been consistent since Jimmy Laycock's been at the helm.
Last thing, Coach, on William & Mary, obviously they kind of came into the season with maybe possibly looking at playing 2 or 3 different quarterbacks. It looks like maybe they sold on one last week. Did you see much out of the key last week?
Well, it's tough to say, because they played a BCS opponent, and they made some plays against UVA, and but it's when you watch the tape against UVA, you don't really know how good UVA is or how good William & Mary is. But I do know this, they scored 10 points in the second half. They were able to run the ball offensively. They were able to move the ball some offensively, and defensively, UVA did not push William & Mary around by any stretch. So I think it's a very good football team, as William & Mary, always is. They're going to be somewhere in the hunt for the CAA title. So it's another great test for us, and I'm looking forward to us playing a little bit better this week.